We have received a very interesting, intriguing comment below one of our videos about so-called body count, and I want to read it to you in a moment, and I want to discuss it with you. But first, I want to thank everyone who leaves their comments, who shares their opinion, agrees or disagrees with us. Your feedback is really important to us. So it is important to know that our content gets attention and people actually watch it, and it is nice to build a dialogue with you. So thank you for pressing likes and for watching us. So the man writes that there are some universities in the United States that done research that women that have slept with more than 5 or 6 guys, when they get married, pretty much are less happy than women who have married virgins. He writes, my mother and 2 of her sisters were virgins. Statistically, virgins have an 80% chance of being happy in marriage. These are university studies, not religiously based. Let me tell it to you this way. I have been a professional matchmaker and dating coach for 15 years already. I still can't believe that that's long. Every year I travel to United States, to London, to Amsterdam, because usually professional matchmaking and dating coaching conferences are hosted there, and we talk about all researches that are love related. For example, last year the book about the new love language, Talking in Psalms, came out, and a doctor, she has PhD, who has written that book, and she has conducted that research. She did a presentation, so pretty much texting is the new love language, and it was phenomenal. Like, really, her research was really good. Unfortunately, I have forgotten her name. I will check after filming this video. Or for example, I have also listened to another researcher who talked about dating a narcissist. So this topic is huge in the United States. I think her book is called Do You Know Who I Am? So every year, if a new book or a new research comes out, we hear about it. I have never ever heard about a research that proves that women that are virgins have more chances to be happier in their relationship than women who have other partners before they got married. So either you have read some trash online that was portrayed as the research, or I don't know what you want to prove. So the fact that your mother and her sisters were virgins and were happy, good for them. I can give you tons of examples. I coach many women and hear their stories, and they share with me that, for example, her first husband was her first love, her first man ever. They have met in college or they have met in high school, and they were married for 10, 12 years. And you know what happened after that? Divorce. Because like 10, 12 years after they have actually grown up, because it's one thing to like a boy or like a girl when you're 18, you pay attention to certain qualities, but when you're in your late 20s, early 30s, when life happens, it turns out that you actually have different values, different priorities, different interests, and well, you are moving into the different directions. And these women, they had to face divorces and had to re-enter dating market in their 30s, in their 40s sometimes. So sometimes men tell me that, you know what, women in their 20s, they just have less sexual partners, so they will make better girlfriends, wives. So this is why I want to date someone in her early 20s, because I don't want to be with someone who has been with so many guys. And the guy is, for example, in his 30s and 40s, and he tries to justify the age gap. You know what? I have met so many women in their 30s who had just one sexual partner, like her ex-husband, or just 2 sexual partners, or even women in their 40s. So she was married, and after, for example, her divorce, she dated one guy, so she had 2 sexual partners, and she is 42. And I have met tons of women in their early 20s who have dated numerous men, and she has dated men who represent her culture, like Ukrainian men. She has dated Turkish men. She had an American boyfriend, an Australian boyfriend. So she has seen places, and she is not shy to speak about it. Of course, I don't try to tell you right now that all women in their 20s are like that. I have two coaching clients in their 30s and they're virgins. They never had boyfriends. Highly educated women. They have invested all their time and energy into, first of all, succeed academically and then to build a career. So totally different priorities were on the first place for them back then. And your comment that if she is a virgin, she will likely build a happier relationship. Most likely no, and I will explain to you why, because she is not experienced in building a relationship. So chances are high she is either very young, like 17, 18, or like, for example, with my coaching clients, it's good that they have a dating coach and a psychologist, because prior they were sabotaging, even like trying to get those dates. They go out on first dates and they don't like anyone, because, like, her expectations have grown unrealistically high, and she romanticized love, and she expects this butterfly chemistry, super romance. You have to court her a certain way. So it is hard to date a woman like that, and it will take you lots of self-work to actually get better at dating, to learn how to communicate with a man, how to flirt with a man, how to build this bond, how to build this trust with a man. So I understand that in certain religious communities, it is really important to save yourself for marriage, but usually it is important both for men and for a woman. And this is why people get married really young in such communities. And very often, like, partners are chosen or picked by parents or by elders, religious elders, and in such communities, rules are very different. So I don't know if people are happier there. We are talking right now about people who are outside of this religious community. Oh, even though I have another example for you. So I know a woman, and she represents a culture, really patriarchal culture, where it's still traditional for parents to choose partners for their children. So she and the other family, they have decided to marry their kids. So her daughter, she married her now ex-husband when she was only 18, and 2 years after and one baby after, they had a divorce because the guy, he actually hit her, and police got involved, so they got divorced. And after that, the daughter, she has worked with a psychologist. She has decided to finish her education, to get a degree, and now this young girl, she is in her late 20s, and she wants to re-enter dating market. And this is how I know this family, because they were looking for a dating coach for her. So if you represent that religious community and this is something that is important for you, then probably we are the wrong channel, and I'm the wrong person to give you tips and advice, because we talk here about dating, and especially we specialize at Slavic culture, and about people who are moderately, I would say, religious, not Orthodox religious, not too religious to my liking, but again, it's a personal choice of everyone. But to claim that your mother was happier in her marriage because she was a virgin when she married your father, I doubt it. That was the only reason. Also, I don't know how old your parents are. People who are in their 60s, 70s, 80s now, the dating market was different. There was no Tinder, and expectations about women and men were different. Like 60 years ago, in certain countries, women didn't have access to education, so it was almost impossible to get a degree, and women were financially dependent on men, because if she can't find a husband, she can't have a degree, she can't have a decent job, so her only way to actually get access to better life is to get married. So this is why marriage was so praised, and in many cases people were unhappy in their marriages. And if you talk honestly to all our grandparents, many people were unhappy, but divorces were not common. Or, for example, women were afraid that if they get a divorce, she won't be able to get a job because she doesn't have a degree, or she won't have a chance to buy an apartment or a house. Who will support her? So different times and of course different problems. So I can't say that there is statistic. I haven't seen statistic like that, and I will be honest with you, to ask a woman on a date like how many men she has been with before, like it's always a bad idea and it's none of your business. Of course, if we are talking about Eastern Europe, like casual sex, it's not very common here. So, of course, in American pop culture, for example, very often like having this friends with benefits can be glamorized. It's not that popular here, but it doesn't mean that women save themselves till marriage. Also, it depends on the age group we are talking to. So when men approach us, and for example, he's 45 and he claims he wants to date a virgin, like you want to date someone who is 18, who might have been your daughter, like really? Like, isn't that creepy? Ouch. Why should she, like, girls who are 18, 19, they date boys their age. They date boys they go to school with. They date boys in their university. And if you ask an 18, 19 years old girl, like, if she likes older men, and if she says yes to you, you will be surprised, because to her, an older man means someone who's 21. She's like 18 and he's 21. So he's like an older man, not someone in his 30s or in his 40s. So my opinion, like after reading your comment and after talking to you for 11 minutes, is that body count, it doesn't matter. You have to have similar values, you have to have similar long-term goals, you have to have similar attitude to religion, to money, to gender roles, to relationship. You have to be looking in the same direction. Like if you want to build relationship that will lead to marriage, a person you date should be also willing to build relationship that will lead to marriage. And this can be a good foundation for a happy, lasting relationship, not the number of people you have dated or you have slept with. I wish you lots of love.